Hello everyone, welcome to MTU Esports. Today our MTU Husky Overwatch team is taking on Eastern Michigan University in the Playfly League.
I'm Evan, alongside
Dead Meme Liam.
for MTU today, our players are Cheesebread, Isaac, Jolo, JRB, Savage for the win, and Suski. A captain is Cheesebread, who is also known as Lucas, Isaac as Isaac, and Daniel B as Jolo, and Jacob as JRB, and Christopher as Savage, and Brendan as Suski.
And for EMU, we got Indigo and Pushpin on DPS, Moment on tank, and Grumpo and Bluke on support.
Today it looks like we're going to be starting off with Control, and it looks like Eastern Michigan has won the coin toss, and they have picked Arctic Peninsula, as it seems, which from week 1 and 2, which we've seen, MTU's been very, very strong on Arctic Peninsula with their brawl comp.
Yes, no, Rams are really strong on this map. MTU's happy they got this pick.
Yeah, and with Isaac also running the May for most of the 2 games on the first 2 weeks, complementing the brawl comp very well. And then you have Jolo, who's been mainly on hit scan heroes, mostly like Cass or Ashe, and it's kind of a factor you don't think about with a brawl comp, having a poke hero mostly. And that Ashe kind of serves to apply some pressure from way down range, especially if the other team decides to go for a dive meta into a brawl comp.
And in the event they do, his Cass pick is just as strong.
Exactly. That grenade can definitely halt a diving Winston or Doomfist.
That it can.
So it looks like we're going to be on Breakpoint this time. And let's see what the characters or comps each team is going to come out with. I'm expecting to see the Ram again today, especially on Antarctic Peninsula. They've had so much success with it.
Makes too much sense.
Yeah. They're comfort picks too, which if you can play your strengths and it's what's in the meta right now, it's a match made
You're
in
in a
heaven.
good spot.
Yeah. So it looks like they're starting out on the Orisa, a pick we haven't seen for the first 2 weeks, which it's a brawl tank, so it should complement this brawl style with the rest of the comp still well.
Yeah.
And then
Looks like EMU's coming out with a Diva dive comp, although the sim is interesting. I imagine they're just going to use it to teleport out of spawn.
Yeah, and honestly, Diva in this latest patch hasn't really got anything that is added to her kit, only kind of taken away, especially with the armor debuff.
Yeah, she has been very strong of late, so I, for one, am happy she got nerfed.
Oh, yeah. As a tank player, I agree. So, looks like EMU's trying to use this Tracer approach, kind of a mix of a dive and brawl comp.
Pressure out immediately. Cass,
like
half health. There's the ring. Speed boosting in.
The Brig, Juno, and
Cass
Isaac finds
went
the pick.
down.
Yeah, Isaac finds the first pick, which he's done for a lot of the first 2 weeks.
Nice shot from Jolo.
And then sending in
It's
a
the dynamite.
And
This
they're
is
just gonna-
cleaner from here.
Yeah, they're going to finish off the rest of EMU, and they're going to cap the point first, which if you can get a solid hold on this point with a brawl comp, it's going to really benefit you in the long run.
And that was a quick fight win.
Yeah, fast engage, and it looks like they're going to match the Orisa here and go off of the Tracer. So they're going to be mirroring the MTU comp.
It's a full mirror.
Yeah, but I will say that the fact that they're swapping, their ult economy is going to be down compared to MTU. So MTU will get, that they find an opening pick on Isaac, who's been a huge part of their success in team fights.
And Jolo gets a pick, but it looks like they're just going to back off and give this one up.
It looks like Jolo and Cheesebread haven't fully disengaged. And here comes JRB coming back in for a fight.
And Ursa for a moment is forced back. Oh, there's the javelin and the Brig. Oh, he's getting low. He goes down.
And now he's all over Jolo. Can he finish off the kill?
It
looks like
off
he
the
will.
map.
But in the meantime, MTU gets the flip. And the thing about JRB, which I've liked from him for the first 2 weeks, especially on his Ramatra, he's been able just to survive on the point. Even if his whole team isn't there, he's found ways to survive and keep the point alive.
There's the Juno ult.
Bit of early ult, honestly, in a team fight.
And the Bob. Kind of an overcommit on the side of EMU.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna come for anything and really get them anything on that. Kind of a wasted ult there, wouldn't you say?
I would. That said, they still do have ult economy with
That's true.
Blizzard
Oh.
coming up.
The Bob is engaged on the point. May walled off. Oh, and it looks
Big
like
wall on
Moment's
the
gonna go
moment.
down.
He's
Yeah.
done.
That's the big plays that Isaac has been coming up with at the start of team fights. And that May complements the brawl comp so well.
Beautifully. Perfect example, right? That fight, blocked off the tank, couldn't escape, and it's a 5v1.
Yeah. And now MTU and EMU's ult economy looking about the same, except for MTU's coming up on 2 support ults. So they'll have near 4. Ooh. The EMU finds a pick. Oh, big surge. That doesn't look like it gets anybody. The Blizzard's invested from EMU. Moment's gonna find Isaac. And it looks like this might be a team win for EMU.
But MTU still has one more fight on this point, at least.
Yeah.
Going into it, they do have the Juno ult, which is a major factor.
Jolo getting staggered in the back there, couldn't really find a way to get out. Ash not having a super huge amount of utility to disengage from fights. So we'll see.
That coach gun is a long cooldown.
Yeah, and we'll see. MTU with 2 support ults, but EMU with this Terra Surge and the rally from the Brig. I like MTU's chances here. That Juno ult.
And the tank goes low immediately.
And another good May wall. But the Brig invests the rally on the side of EMU. And now it comes the Terra Surge.
The picks
And
go.
the Juno ult.
There's another wall. Picks go to EMU, and that's the fight.
Yeah, they
One more
invested
attempt to
3 ults into
contest.
that
I'd imagine we're seeing a Sombra switch from Isaac.
Yep, he's
That's
gonna
just
look
to touch the point.
Yeah, he's gonna look to flank around, possibly touch the point, try to get another team fight for MTU in this one. He's on the point waiting. As the rest of the team tries to engage, he gets the touch. They know he's there. He's gonna have to touch again.
Backs out.
Only the
Another
rally
big wall.
for MTU.
The May's hacked. The May's low.
Brig
Brig's
goes down. Isaac finds a crucial pick. Jolo has
Couple
the bomb.
shots there. Bob on point.
2 Bobs on point. Both teams.
Oh, the enemy Bob is hacked.
Yeah, that's going to turn the fight in the favor of MTU heavily.
That Juno blocks down Savage with 2 picks.
But the Blizzard comes in.
It finds both supports, but Moment's one. He can't do
Yeah.
anything. Kind of a wasted Blizzard in the end.
Yeah, because you at least have one more fight in here for EMU, but
Yeah.
I like that from MTU. They didn't have the biggest ult economy to work with, but they made it work.
And speaking of which, now MTU is coming up on Orisa ult and EMP.
Which that EMP could be huge. Oh, EMU switching over to the Tracer instead of the Ash.
I guess to contest the Sombra.
That's what I'm thinking. They're going to need to touch for their team just like Isaac did. They get on point, they get the touch. This is last fight. Ice Block comes out early for EMU's May. Not going to have that utility.
Forced to use the Fortify.
Moment going low.
Moment low.
Still low.
Being healed
EMP
up.
comes out
EMP.
on the side of MTU. Pick for pick. Oh, but Joel's Dynamite finishes off the Juno.
And that's a pick onto the tank, and that's the map for MTU.
Wow, that's the closest map we've seen this season so far. And it was close.
Yeah.
I think MTU were on a bit of a back foot there for the final fight, but that big
it got
fight.
scrappy at the end.
Yeah, definitely. They had to switch over to that Tracer on EMU's side to contest the point. But in the end, it looks like they didn't have enough utility to deal with their presence on the point.
The EMP and Terra Surge were stronger than no ults.
Yes, that's for sure. And it looks like Cheese Bread is going to come off of the Brig for this point and go on to the Kiriko.
It's very interesting. I feel like the last map has better sight lines. You'd expect more value out of the Kiriko there.
Oh,
Over to the
but
Lucio.
it could be the Lucio.
That's just to
Interesting
speed
play.
out, though.
Oh, yeah. They are going to go back to the Kiriko. But the rush from Kiriko can be hugely impactful.
It's so strong.
Where honestly, a rally might not get as much usefulness out of it, especially with the Brawl comp.
No, it's almost purely defensive, and when Brawl's running you down, that rally armor's not going to protect you.
Ooh.
Immediate pick on the May.
Yeah, JRB finds the opening pick. That's what MTU is going to want. So then you've got Jolo on this off angle, maybe able to find a pick. Got a flying Juno in front of him, and he's
Easy.
going to take him. Yes, he gets him. And now Moment's backed up onto a May wall.
Staggered.
Another great May wall from Isaac.
He's been killing it with the May walls.
Yeah. And
Killing
honestly,
the enemy team.
we haven't seen a lot of blizzards, but the May walls,
Yeah.
to open up the fights, man, they've been getting the job done.
They really
That's
have.
for sure. And we are going to see...
Jolo again on a more shallow off angle this time.
We're going to see only one difference in the team comps here. You're going to see EMU running the Brig like last round. And JRB
Instant
again
pick.
on the opener. And now EMU's going to have to push back because they can't engage here without their Ashe.
There's the speed ring coming out from the Juno to disengage.
Yeah,
Moment's back in. And looks like they've stabilized.
all right, so the Ashe
Chaplain
is
goes
gonna
in.
come back, and ult economy, it looks like JRB with these picks is helping get his ult a lot faster than maybe EMU's tank,
Absolutely.
which Terra Surge can be a big turning point for a fight, especially on control.
Absolutely. But I'm more focused on support ults here. Savage FTW almost exactly has their ult coming up.
Yeah, it looks like both Junos, and they're going to invest on the side. They're both going to invest. Both sides investing their Juno ults.
I imagine we're going to see the Terra Surge. Maybe the Kitsune come out after.
Ooh, but they might not need it.
They don't
JRB.
even need it.
He is coming up big with the picks right now. His presence on the point has just been absolutely dominant.
That's what the horse does. She takes space and she doesn't give it up.
Yep, and it looks like he's going to get the pick. A big team contributing pick. Everybody was in on that one. They had
Beautiful.
all 5 for the
That's
assists.
Overwatch.
Yeah. And it looks like it's going to be
It's been a
maybe
pretty
a bob for both sides.
on
And
both sides, but EMU does have the Terra Surge and the Rally.
yeah, it looks like EMU.
But they're going to have to struggle to touch here.
Yeah,
so,
this could be last fight territory.
oh,
And the bob comes in way
Oh.
back. But it's a
that's very smart. It isolates the hit scan, gets a pick.
And he finds him. So now they're going to be down. And Jolo finds another one. And here, out comes the
Terra
Terra
Surge for a
Surge.
moment, but Maze and Cryo.
Anybody.
Oh, just
but
in
he
time.
just comes out of the Cryo and gets killed. But it looks like they're whittling Moment's health down. Don't know if he can hold on this point much
No.
longer. And I
Not
think
enough
that is
sustain.
going to be the second map, MTU. Winning on control. A lot more dominant than the first round.
Absolutely. I think the Kiriko switch was massive and worked to their favor immensely. That cleanse to get rid of stuns, as well as just keep your player invulnerable.
Yeah, I agree. And also the off angle that Jolo was able to take around the backside of the map, and he found multiple picks before the fight. But
Absolutely.
biggest factor I think there was JRB finding his opening picks.
Yeah.
You saw almost each fight he'd get his opening pick, which allowed his team to push up with him and kind of collapse on the rest of the team.
All up until the last fight.
So good showing from MTU on that map. And right now, I think we'll move into one of our sponsors of the team.
MTU is sponsored by Bradway Enterprises. Need to be close to campus? We have places for that. Find the perfect location. Live where you want to live. Go to houghtonforrent.com. And MTU Esports is also sponsored by University Images, your official headquarters for authentic Michigan Tech Huskies apparel. University owned, university operated. University Images, located in the SDC, or go to book.mtu.edu.
All right. Now, map 2 is going to be hybrid. Now, it will be EMU's pick since they lost the map, which, what could we see here? Because you saw MTU quite dominant on the Brawl on the second map, but looking like they can compete with it on the other side for EMU.
Yeah, no, it looked pretty dominant from the MTU side, so I can't imagine that we'd see a Brawl map selected.
All right.
That would be unthinkable.
Yeah. So it looks like the map choice is going to be King's Row.
A Brawl map?
Yeah, man. Honestly, you see how dominant MTU is with this Brawl comp?
This pick is frankly confusing.
Yeah, honestly, you'd almost see more of a poke map or maybe even a dive heavy map
Absolutely.
to kind of, because you got Jolo in the back, he's finding those picks in the back, and that's one of the problems that EMU has to face going into this next map. And King's Row is going to give him a lot of options to take off angles against EMU.
Of all the hybrid maps, I cannot think of one better for Ashe Brawl than King's Row.
Yeah, so I think Jolo is going to be able to come up big here with some long-range picks. And honestly, the point presence of JRB, I think he'll be able to just sit there and hopefully with Jolo applying pressure and Isaac with the May walls, I don't see any point where they are going to mirror them into the brawl.
No, I can't imagine why they would, but at the same time, the map pick Kings Row, you really can only run dive as an alternative strategy. So I'm imagining we're going to see that diva that they tried on the first map come back out.
Yeah.
Whether it'll be effective, I'm not sure.
Which maybe even if EMU sees a diva and maybe MTU might want to switch on to that Ramatra, due to the fact that when you go into near nemesis form with Ramatra, it's not affected by the diva's defense matrix.
That's true.
So, and also...
And diva doesn't have much damage pressure to keep the Ramatra from advancing.
Yeah, exactly. And also diva having a health armor nerf, with the amount of damage that's coming out from MTU's side, I don't know how long they'll be able to stay in their mech.
No.
So I think the dive comp is the only real way that they can... I don't like the dive on defense, but I would imagine you could possibly see a dive on attack.
I mean, I think you're probably right about that. Taking high ground on Kings Row A is very, very strong. If they can get a rotation up to that high ground, they might be in a good spot, but I can't imagine MTU's brawl comp is so weak that they don't see that coming.
Yeah, because the poke comp, such as like a Sigma or something, it's not going to really be effective, especially against the brawl comp on this map, especially with the tight angles. No real range for anybody to operate from with a poke comp.
Absolutely not. And once we move past A, the dive becomes weaker as well.
Exactly. Dive is only really viable for the first point.
Really.
So once you get in that long range, Jolo's going to be able to open up, even if they make it past the first point and actually cap it. So I think it's going to be a really competitive second round.
It just might be.
Yeah. So I can't imagine any other strategies. I don't think we'll see the poke. I'm saying I think MTU's going to stick to their brawl comp. It's their comfort picks. I don't see why they would get off of it.
No.
But maybe if they do bring a dive on EMU's side, maybe you see Jolo move over from the Ash to the Cass.
Yeah, it seems very likely. The Cass is very good in the close range. His fall-off damage is insane, but when in close range, his flashbang and DPS is kind of unmatched on the hit scan cast.
Yeah, he's kind of, honestly, an anti-dive character.
Absolutely.
And his good ultimate to zone off, especially, say, on first point of Kings Row, you can zone off the whole point and have it give your time for your teammates to move up and come back. So, and also, like last week, when the other team was pushing MTU back, JRB was able to sit on point successfully, being one of two people alive, but he was able to have his survivability. He survived so well that he was able to just sit on the point until his entire team came back from spawn, which is not very close.
No, that's incredible sustain. JRB has been coming out big, both in previous games and in the last map we just saw.
Yeah, so I think we know what we'll see from this map, and I think we can cut away to a short intermission.
And we're back.
And we are on Kings Row. Let's see what kind of comps these two teams will come up with. And
No
wow,
surprises here.
Yeah.
Orisa on both sides. The only difference it looks like being the Ana coming out from Cheesebread.
but you also see a Cassidy
Oh.
from the side of EMU, which is an interesting pick into a mirrored Brawlcom, I would say.
It is, especially on the attack where we're gonna have to, Cass is gonna have to find a way to get in to do damage. I'd imagine you're just gonna be shooting tanks for most of the time.
Yeah, not a lot of disengage ability, you'll see Jolo up on the high points taking shots at the Cass, who doesn't necessarily have the range to compete with Jolo's range on the Ashe.
Absolutely not. In any sort of ranged duel, Cholo is going to get the better of Pushpin. I'd have to imagine.
Yeah, and the Nano could be big here for MTU, especially with the Orisa.
Yeah, Nano to Orisa, it's tough to beat. The 50% damage reduction, as well as the 50% from Fortify. She's basically unkillable for that whole 15 seconds.
Exactly, and it looks like we're going to have our first engagement around the pillar. EMU wrapping around point.
Big
Jab-
jab,
oh,
massive
big anti.
nade.
And it looks like they're going to recover from it, and they're going to start rotating all the way around, possibly going to high ground, which it looks like they are.
Yep, and there's the rotation. So this is what we wanted to avoid. Looks like MTU is just taking hotel, backing in.
It looks like
But that gives
Jolo,
them point presence.
Jolo read that pretty well. You could see he knew that they were coming up to high ground, so he got off of it. He didn't want to find himself getting picked for being alone up on high ground. And looks like it's going to be a bit of a flip with the sides of the map. And
Moment's taking a lot of damage here, and they don't have the. And Moment doesn't have the Ana to heal like JRB does.
yeah, the Brig offers less healing overall, and with the amount of damage being output by MTU, the horse is going to need it.
For real. And it's just a
Big May wall.
horse duel.
Oh, two big May walls. One to block off MTU's tank. Oh, and Blizzard's invested.
Blizzard and Juno comes in
Oh, it
from
looks-
both sides.
JRB's going to find a pick, but JRB is also going to go down. Isaac will also fall along with Savage, and EMU are going to clean up the rest. And
Dope.
they looks like they will take the first point.
Pushpin ends with a quadruple kill, it looked like.
You know, for ult economy right now, MTU is coming up on the Nano, and they also have the Surge and Blizzard.
Versus the Deadeye and the Surge, and coming up on Rally for EMU.
Which Blizzard could be a big engage factor for MTU here. But you
Absolutely.
do have to be careful not to throw it at the Orisa at the wrong time, because she could eat the ult with her
True.
spinning spear.
We did see that happen last map.
So it looks like they could engage here with the Nano. They're just going to have one person on cart for the side of EMU while they engage around the corner here.
Yeah.
Big
Oh,
anti.
massive nade.
And it looks like they're
Will
going
they
to try
get
to
the punish?
collapse.
Oh, a defensive Maywall keeps Moment alive. And now suddenly JRB is
Ooh.
going down.
They invest a Surge, but JRB goes down while
And they invest the
Surge
Blizzard.
comes out. Looks like Moment will get frozen. Oh, but the Deadeye comes out.
Deadeye
back.
angle.
Oh,
Oh,
but he
doesn't
gets
let
no
him
one.
charge.
Maywall to Maywall.
Nano onto the Juno.
Interesting to see that. Oh.
Goes down, but it looks like it's enough to at least hold them in place for a little bit here.
And Isaac's going to have to use his Ice Block, but a wall's
This
gonna-
is the last
Ooh.
ditch effort to stall here.
A good wall to try to escape. In the end, Isaac will fall, but the wall was behind him, so he didn't really have anywhere to go there.
No. They were just stalling car for as long as they could.
And it looks like EMU, compared to last map, is up to the challenge to counter him with the Brawl.
Absolutely. This is a total shift in pace.
So you'll see that Bob is the only thing in MTU's belt.
I'd
to use right
imagine
now.
they might go for the Bob, but they might even try to take a dry fight, bait some ults out from EMU, because both support ults and the Blizzard is pretty scary to go into. You can't imagine as MTU that you're going to win this fight.
Oh, but the Juno ult does
Purely
come out,
Juno.
but here
They
does
do
the Bob
use Bob. Oh, it misses the cart. Totally
right
out of
in the
fight.
back. But could it find a sneaky pick in the back there? Oh, but Isaac goes down again. But Jolo finds a pick as well, and MTU invests the Juno ult. The Blizzard from the side of EMU comes out.
It's getting scrappy. Okay. Oh, this is for MTU. Jolo's just on the high ground taking shots.
And it looks
Only-
like it
only
will be
May
a
left.
team fight win for MTU.
Yeah. that
Good
was-
fight.
Although EMU didn't invest the rally, interestingly.
Yeah. They did invest the Blizzard, though, which could serve as being huge for this next fight, since Isaac is coming up on his Blizzard.
And MTU is also coming up on the Terra Surge and the Nano Boost. So now the shoes are in their foot here, but you know, we cast her curiously last time. It might happen again.
And that Juno ult, it can come out of nowhere and be available, because comes up so fast.
It does, and for how strong it is, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is very. And for
The
being a new
aggressive
character-
Blizzard.
The Blizzard.
Oh, fine.
Engaged.
It finds
Gets the-
push
gets the
pin
cab.
somehow.
And they get the pick. Ooh,
The
Isaac's
defensive
gonna
wall,
fall
Isaac's
here.
low.
But he's gonna get out.
He gets out. JRB comes to the rescue along with the healers.
JRB and Isaac get out of that fight unscathed.
And EMU is just on the run here. They can't take this fight.
Yeah, especially without their hit scan being able to apply pressure. They're gonna have to retreat, which now, once their whole team is back, they are engaging, and out comes the
Aggressive
Terror
Terra
Surge.
Surge, aggressive right click from the Juno.
But here comes the Terror Surge from the side of EMU too, and Juno Savage is lost in the back, having to wrap around the whole thing.
And there's the Juno ult from EMU.
And MTU's coming up on their Juno ult. Can they get it in time? Isaac goes down. So does JRB. And oh, nice sleep from Cheesebread, but in the end he will drop.
And that is going to be a fight win after a brief stall from Savage.
And it looks like they will get the second point now
Jolo
onto the
just-
final point.
Yeah. I mean, Kings Row C, anything can happen. With the ults that these teams have, unless Dr. Rosano's Blizzard is massive, I cannot imagine
And he's taking a
MTU will
weird
lose
angle.
his first fight.
You don't see a lot of Maze get up there, do you?
No, I mean, she's got that long range right click. Does 160 to the head, I believe.
Yeah, it's an outrageous amount of damage. The Juno ult for the side of MTU is going to be invested. Isaac goes down, but MTU finds the pick on the push pin and on the Mei. So EMU is just going to have to back up here.
Yep.
That's going to get some time off the clock for
And
MTU to regroup,
Very efficient fight win from MTU, only investing the orbital strike.
which they have the Bob and the Blizzard now.
That they do. And they're coming up on Terra Surge as well.
And
That said, EMU has basically all 5 ults.
yeah, they are all getting close. And out comes the Bob. Big
Massive anti,
And it looks like
and,
the
Bob finds
push
push pin.
And they shouldn't need to invest any more here. This should be a clean fight win for MTU.
Yeah, that
once
was
again.
about as well as that could have went. The only thing you would have wished to see is more investment from EMU, but
Can't
they're
complain
still coming in
when
with better ult
all you use
economy.
is the Bob. So
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, good fight win. Keeping their ult economy up, and you see the Sigma.
The Sigma switch.
Wow.
The end of this map does have longer sight lines, but the way JRB is playing, I can't imagine he's going to care much. The shield break might be
And
tough.
ooh, and
A massive
here comes-
Blizzard.
it's
That's
big, and
was that all
and the Deadeye.
5
The Deadeye's also
fully
used.
wasted?
He finds a pick, but MTU's spawn is so much closer.
Yeah, no, that's going to have exactly 0 impact.
So, and also with trading off of the Orisa for the Sigma, you're not going to have your gold ability to not be affected by the Mei ults.
True.
From Isaac, which JRB is, we've seen him use his gold to get out of there because the Mei obviously won't freeze him when he's using that ability. And the Sigma doesn't have anything to really stop that. And here comes the
Another
Terror Surge. Big.
massive nade.
They're going to find the Juno.
JRB will get frozen here. The
They
mass.
will invest
Oh, it
the
is a
nano.
big blizzard. Oh,
They invest the Nano into JRB, but he goes down. And
that's
it
just how
looks
strong
like-
Blizzard is. That was 3 people immobilized, and suddenly the fight's over.
Yeah, it looks like Savage and Jolo, the only 2 surviving members, trying just to stay alive so their teammate can come back. And they're going to invest
they're-
a Juno ult.
Wow, I think they just did that to make sure they had sustained.
And it looks like, wow,
Two
they're going to
picks.
find 2. And out comes the Ramatra from JRB from out of nowhere when EMU was not looking. And he's going to come in for the cleanup.
I think that's a beautiful switch. It does even better into the Sigma than the Orisa does. And after a brief stall from Dr. Rosano, that is the round.
Yeah.
Going to MTU.
Wow, the counter swaps there were great at the end. They weren't expecting the Ramatra to come out against Sigma, but because Jolo and Savage were able to stall at that last point, it gave them the option to come back out on the Ramatra and find a pick.
Yeah, no, that Ramatra just ran through, swinging his fists.
So could we see a Ramatra come out for this attack from MTU?
It's certainly possible. I'd imagine they'll stick to the Orisa unless they see something sneaky come out from EMU's side.
I think as long as they're staying on the Mei on the side of the EMU, I don't think we're going to see much of the Ramatra.
Yeah.
I think the Orisa utility you're getting from being able to escape the Mei ults, I think that's more beneficial
And
than
just
having,
and just all the sustain.
Exactly.
And ooh, the Kiriko again we're seeing. This time, oh, and Jolo on the Widow.
I don't know if he'll stay on it, but he could look for a sneaky pick out of the gates. But if he does stay on it, there's a trade-off to playing Widow.
That's true.
Because one, you're substituting your Ashe, which is putting a lot of pressure constantly. And you have the worry on EMU's side of the Bob coming out, which can shift a fight completely.
Which compared to Widow's Inversight is not a very impactful ultimate.
But the damage and the ability to quickly find a pick for Widow is the trade-off.
Yeah,
So
I'd imagine, yep, he's just looking for a pick out of spawn, and he's going to drop back and swap back either to the Ashe or to the Cassidy. And there's
you
the
see
Ashe.
that. Yep. He looks for the pick, doesn't see it, decides we need the consistent damage.
Of course.
I like that move from him.
I'd imagine that was their plan the whole time. And Javelin onto the Orisa.
And JRB's going to take this off angle with Savage, and Isaac's
It's
also
about
with
half the
them.
team rotated. It looks like they're playing a two formation here, but they're chasing down Jolo, and suddenly Kiriko's all alone.
And
TP's
now
out.
MTU kind of finds themselves pincered, and JRB, he's going to fall low, and he is going to go down, but Savage finds a pick. Isaac and Savage.
But May and Cheesebutter are going to get staggered here.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just going to have to retreat back into their spawn. Team fight win EMU.
Unfortunately, but no ults really gained from either side.
Yeah, it looks like EMU's ult economy might
Savage.
Oh, Savage still alive, trying to get out. Looks like they're not going to press up on him too much, which is good. Don't want the stagger.
No, yeah, that Juno movement's really, really strong.
And it looks like EMU's going to have their Deadeye and Rally a bit earlier.
Jolo takes the high ground with the coach gun, instantly bashed away by the Brig, but just to the other high ground. Pick your
Interesting
poison.
play from the Brig on EMU side for being all the way up top on height.
And that's the kill under the tank for EMU.
Yeah, and
This
not
is
having
looking
that
great
extra
for
support.
MTU.
Let JRB just push in and able to find an absurd amount of damage onto their tank.
Absolutely. And it looks like JRB's going to take the space here. Good block by Grumpa on the Brig, on the Javelin.
And it looks like MTU is just going to push him back so they can get some steady push on the cart. Now, since it is hybrid, and they did push the third point on the side of EMU, MTU only has to make it to a little bit further than where EMU made it to take the map.
That's exactly right. The only problem is they pushed it almost to the end, so effectively they do have to push it all. They basically have to push it all the way there.
And a big May wall on the side of EMU. And out comes the rally from
And
EMU.
the Juno ult.
But the Juno ult from
EMU stack support ults with the Deadeye. There comes the Terror Surge from JRB.
But
Goes
the
down to the Deadeye.
And it looks like MTU probably will not invest any more ults after this fight. They still will have a Bob that Jolo's coming up on, and also they will have the Blizzard and the Rush, which is something that they haven't seen yet on this map. So the Rush could be a good engaging factor.
Especially,
for the next fight.
The only thing you have to look out for is the Blizzard from Dr. Rosano. A good Blizzard on top of the Kitsune Rush can shut down almost all of its value.
Exactly. And he's had a few good ones on this map. MTU's going
That
to go
said,
aggressive.
he goes down.
That's the big pick that MTU needed.
Does not look like we need anything else.
In the background. Kind of drew their attention away from the fight, allowing JRB to move forward. Can they get the stagger?
Oh, and Brig,
and
they
Briggs
found
there.
him. They found him. He wasn't hiding far enough.
And they'll get the stagger, which will kind of give them some time to move the payload up a bit more, because EMU's going to have to regroup a little bit longer.
It was looking bad for a second there. Holding the choke on King's Row is always very strong, but that was a pretty instant breakthrough, and they managed to keep the Kitsune.
Yeah, only using one ult, the Bob.
Oh, the snipe on with the Javelin on Pushpin.
Wow.
And suddenly they can take all the space in the world. Pushpin drops a wall in match chat.
Oh, but the Blizzard does come out from the side of EMU, but JRB is able to get out with the gold. And the
there's
Rush
the
comes
Kitsune.
out.
The fight's
Isaac
even.
is found. Can MTU find
Can they
the
find
picks
the
they
pick
need?
on the May here?
It looks like the Juno ult will be invested on the side of EMU. Their spawn's a lot closer compared to MTU, so they're able to get back a lot faster.
And just the damage of the Juno ult is massive. Jola finds a pick, but
he
it
does
does
go
not
down.
does not look like enough, and it's just the supports versus the world.
And can they get out and survive and not get staggered? Because that could be bad for MTU. But it looks like they do get out.
Yeah, Juno and Kiriko both have some great movement utility.
Oh, big javelin.
Oh,
Almost
close.
takes out cheese bread. That could have been bad. That would have been a very, very big stagger.
Another 20 seconds or so off the clock. But they say that now, as it stands, there's 2 fights left to take A. To take B,
like
rather.
A big wall for MTU. Surge comes
Roman
out, but
goes down.
he does go down.
You can't
Jolo
fight the
finds
Juno
pick.
ult.
JRB finds another pick with the javelin. Savage 1v1ing the Brig on height. And it looks like he will be successful with
And
the
there
help
it
of
is.
JRB.
MTU coming into this point with more time than EMU had, though not by much.
So they have 3 minutes to make it just further. They will push up a bit here. Only 1 on cart. They'll be moving up a bit. They have the Bob coming up on the Kitsune rush. And EMU's ult economy quite low compared to the...
And there's the Bob coming out. Just gets walled off. But the Mei is 1. Jolo finds him.
That's the big pick they keep looking for, and they get it that time.
Massive headshot after headshot on the Brig from Jolo.
And it looks like the Kitsune rush being invested here. And then...
Bang!
Wow.
Jolo is
Looks like
on fire right
It
now.
looks like it's going to be a team fight win for MTU, but their spawn for EMU is right at the final objective.
Absolutely right, but they use the Blizzard. I don't think they do. The Mei was behind already. EMU will get a stall. But the Terra Surge will instantly kill the Mei.
Oh, but the
There's
Blizzard comes out. But JRB again has the gold.
Dead.
And then there goes the Blizzard. And this
And
could
that's
be
a
it.
map win. Beautiful stuff from the
EMU
MTU.
cannot get back on it. MTU looked a little shaky on the first side on defense, but they really brought it on attack.
They really did.
And I think the biggest factor there was getting whoever's Mei got picked first.
Yeah, it did happen a lot in quite a few of those fights. The Mei's wall is so impactful in these brawl engagements. So when you lose your Mei, you lose a lot of your ability to control space.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And also, I think Jolo's Ash pick was more helpful in the long run compared to EMU's Cass pick.
Absolutely. Jolo found tons of angles, hitting tons of headshots. Whenever you went to his camera, it was just dink, dink, dink.
Yeah, and also the Bob ult.
Bob.
Infinitely, probably more helpful than the Deadeye was, especially on that map.
It did find a couple picks, but Bob did so much for MTU.
And you saw when Jolo would take these off angles, throw the Bob behind the team, especially on attack.
Yeah.
Their EMU's focus would shift to where the Bob is and would allow MTU to push up and allow them to secure the pick onto the enemy's Mei. So a good showing from MTU on that round.
Beautiful stuff. We expected the win on the brawl map. We got the win on the brawl map.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go to a brief intermission. Hey, welcome back.
It looks like we will be on Suravasa for Flashpoint. This is what we've seen for the past 2 weeks, and MTU has looked really strong on this.
And we see the sub for JRB coming in, Suski, to play that Junker Queen. Very strong on this map.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Suski this season yet, but I do think that Queen will get a lot of effectiveness, especially on a mode like Flashpoint.
Yeah. Junker Queen, when the map's open like this, Junker Queen is going to feed on this Orisa, getting so much self-heal and a positioning advantage off the knife throw.
Exactly, and also, it's going to look like the same comp from EMU, but they are going to favor the Ashe instead of the cast this time.
Yeah, which makes sense given the sight lines on this map.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't be
A
running
lot of
cast
range
here.
is needed for this map, for sure.
Dynamite goes in and just Brig and Ashe.
Cheese
back
Bread
up.
and Jolo taking this off angle, while Suski and the rest of
Pushpin's
the team
one.
push up. The Queen's... Oh, the
That's
Queen finds a pick. Suski with the opener here. Orisa goes low.
Yeah,
Can
this
they
is-
find the finish on the Orisa? Brig also goes down, and this is going to be a first team fight win for MTU on Flashpoint.
Yeah, that's the Junker Queen comp. So much damage, so much sustain. And honestly, you can hear the excitement. I don't know if that comes through on our mics, but they're screaming down there.
Yeah, they're honestly, Junker Queen, one of the best and most fun heroes to play.
Absolutely. Of the ones they've added since the inception of Overwatch 2, Junker Queen is one of the coolest and most fun and most engaging.
Yeah, and she's honestly stayed pretty strong as a character.
Yeah, there have been moments, but primarily on her maps, you play Junker Queen.
The big wall, from
Massive,
Isaac,
massive,
and they are
and
going to find
moment goes
Momo.
down. That's the fight over already.
And they find the Mei. This will be another team fight win, and possibly the last fight for this point, since it's Flashpoint, and unlike on Control, Flashpoint, the tick moves up really, really fast.
That's true, and they've chased them pretty far into spawn. It looks like they've regrouped enough that they're going to have another touch, but this will be the last fight, unless EMU can pull out something. But Jolo has the Bob, Isaac has the Blizzard, and the support ults are close.
Isaac goes low, but, oh, Savage also going low.
Yeah,
Staying low, but
Isaac does go
invests the
down.
Blizzard.
Terra Surge and Juno ult come out from EMU.
Rally,
Both support ults
everything.
also invested from MTU.
MTU investing heavily into this fight.
But the tank goes down for EMU. That's the fight over as is. It's just May alone on point, stalling.
And it looks like they will save the Bob, however, though.
Yep. Despite the flip, that is a fight and point win for MTU.
So it will be overtime, but it doesn't look like there will be anybody to touch for the
No.
side of EMU.
It'd be they wouldn't want to even if they could.
Exactly. You don't want that stagger going right into the next point.
Absolutely.
And it looks like the ult economy will be much in favor of EMU this fight.
Yeah, no, it's shifted 180. MTU did have to commit a lot, and it's a Bob versus a Bob Blizzard rally.
And you
You
could
don't-
see the engage with this Bob if MTU starts to push up. But it looks like good Maywall
Massive
again
wall.
from Isaac. And
Although the tank is saved and they do now have point presence. There's the Bob from EMU.
the Bob from MTU.
The knife on the moment, but it doesn't look like they'll be able to punish it.
They're going to find 1-for-1. They're going to trade. But Suski
No.
goes down, and it looks like Jolo will too.
Unfortunately, only a kill on the Bob for MTU that fight, and that's a team wipe.
And EMU will have the first cap on the second point.
That's not a great place to be in, especially because now they didn't even have to invest the Blizzard or the rally.
Yeah,
And MTU's got squat.
MTU is, yeah, MTU is going to need to have a really good fight here with low ult economy, where that Maywall for EMU could be big here.
You'd have to hope so.
And especially since now that they're on the Queen instead of the Orisa, they don't have the survivability factor for the tank out of the Blizzard.
That is true.
They're going to engage with the Blizzard.
Wow,
looks
an
like-
early coalescence.
Yeah.
I don't like this play at all from EMU. I think they wanted to take that fight as slow as possible. Because now, if MTU can regroup fast enough, they have another touch, this time with the rally and the rampage, and coming up on the Blizzard.
And they're going to push up and try to stop MTU from getting a touch on
Oh,
this
no.
point. And
It looks like they're going to do that effectively.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone from MTU will be able to get there.
yeah, this brawl comp, especially with the Queen, nobody to really flank around and touch with high mobility.
No, it's not worth switching ult. It's not worth switching for the ult economy.
Especially only on side of point. They're gonna have a little fight here for control
Massive
outside.
anti from the Rampage, and that's just a clean fight win off one button press from Suski.
And the ult comes up big for Suski, and that's the only thing they have to invest. So MTU's ult economy will be very much up. It looks like the script is flipped a bit.
Absolutely. Only Bob, although there is the Juno ult, but Juno ult from both sides kind of cancel each other out. Really, that last fight was incredible from Suski. He found a massive Rampage, and since there's no Kiriko on the other side, that's just pure value. That's 4 people who cannot get healed.
Exactly. And so MTU's going to get the first flip on this point.
And
they're going to find the Brig
and
in the back.
Damage boosted axe swing kills the Brig, although Savage does go down, but there's the mirror on block.
And it looks like the Bob will be invested.
I'm on a point.
EMU.
Juno ults are extinguished.
Rally invested.
Jola finds pushpin with the dynamite. And it looks like
fight.
It gets scrappy at the end there, but despite the commit of the Bob and the Juno ult, MTU keeps the lead.
And again, holding on to 2 ults, both the Bob and the Blizzard.
And both of which are huge here. On a control point map like this, the Bob can stall for you to reposition, but they're going to use it early. Oh, the block by moment, so they're just going to wait this out. This is a 1-fight point now again.
And it looks like the Bob effectively is just holding them back, so MTU can get some more percentage on this point and get it into an overtime situation.
Absolutely. If Isaac can find a Blizzard here or a Maywall.
And he sees that the Orisa uses her javelin spin, so he's free to use the Blizzard.
And there it is, and a bang headshot.
And he comes up big on this fight, and it looks like
they get the flip, but it's not going to be for long.
Yeah, they're going to get a few percentage, but as soon as moment goes down, it's going to be the flip back, and it looks like most likely the point win for MTU.
And looking at ult economy, Suski is coming up on the Rampage, which if the last time you use it as any indicator, will be huge here.
Exactly, they can win a fight just with that, especially without having anybody like a Kiriko on the other team to cleanse it with the anti.
The only thing they have is the rally, which can do something to mitigate the damage, but with any sort of focus fire, that's not going to be enough to save you.
Exactly, and also moment with the Terror Surge could be impactful here to zone off a bit of a point.
Stall a little bit as well.
But he does have the Rampage for MTU.
He's poking, he's looking for it.
He's looking for an opening, he's trying to find the most value.
He doesn't want to get
But
javelin.
Jolo finds a pick.
Huge, massive.
And the Brig goes down. The Maze
the
low.
rotation.
They're gonna have to use their block.
After pick, Rampage comes out, and that's all. And that's 3.
And
Only
that's all
misses the May and Cryo.
Big anti. And it looks like the Juno ult's gonna be
Juno
invested.
is invested. This is.
Bob comes out.
It's a massive investment. The Bob is huge, but it's not enough, and EMU takes the point.
Bit of a scrappy fight there, investing in a lot from both sides. So on this next engage, MTU is going to be working with their Juno ult and the Rally.
Versus Rally, Bob, and Blizzard on the other side.
Which that Blizzard, especially on a map like Flashpoint where you have to control point, that Blizzard could be huge.
But they're taking the fight so aggressive. Oh, there's the Blizzard. I don't think MTU is ready for it.
And it gets 4, it looks like, in the freeze.
Despite the pick on the tank, it's not enough. And now it's just staggers.
Ooh, but they almost find EMU's May. Suski forced to retreat and try to survive, doesn't want to stagger, so they can get another fight in here.
Yeah. And he does manage to get out.
Which will give MTU another opportunity at this point. Now they'll have the Rally and the Blizzard on the side of MTU, which is good because they got EMU to invest their Blizzard early.
True.
Where only the Bob will be available currently, and maybe a Juno ult.
Yeah, Juno ult is coming up. If they can get that Juno ult up, this fight will have a totally different spin to it. But that's already 2 picks.
The Blizzard comes out, and yes, they find the May and the Ashe, and the King goes down.
And that's a fight win for MTU. They're going to stall for a bit. Not quite sure why, to be honest. It's at 99.
And MTU's going to get the flip. And wow, that Blizzard came up big.
It really did.
They threw the Blizzard, and while Moment was able to get out, he was just getting out, but he was forced to move towards the rest of MTU's team. which cost them the fight.
Absolutely. And now Suski again with the rampage.
On an off angle, Cheese Bread does go down. Won't have the availability of the rally, but they do
Blue
find...
goes low, and that's both supports down.
May has to
With the
block.
Orisa antied. Isaac
Yeah,
goes
that's going for
down,
the
but
point. Oh, but here comes a surge.
oh, no.
Suski goes down. Savage finds moment though.
both tanks
Bob
down.
is down.
This is as scrappy as things get.
But Bob comes out for Jolo on the point, which won't allow EMU to push up onto it without their tank.
And after a carnival series of events, that's a fight win for MTU. And now they're coming back with Blizzard and both support ults versus just Blizzard, which is not as strong on the attack, especially with
Early
moment
rally.
being forced to touch.
Early rally from Cheese Bread.
And if they can secure this fight when they secure the map,
And here out comes a Junowalt. They find
and
the tank.
Moments
This could
down.
be it. Cheese Bread
Grumpo's
finds
down.
Grumpo. The Juno trying to do something to keep this point alive, but now it is just the May and the Blizzard comes out, and I
there's
do not
nothing
think they
else
will
to
get
be
another
done.
touch.
That
and
was just about a team kill.
that is a win for MTU. Really having to come back from that first point, and man, they looked good on the Junker Queen. Suski looked great.
Beautiful stuff.
And honestly, I think the biggest factor was Suski's ults. Being able to find so much value
Massive.
with just one ult, not having to invest a lot, is really what gave him the win.
Every single one of them hit at least 3 players, I think. It was truly a masterclass in JQ from Suski.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a closer one than the first 2 weeks, but man, they did it. They came out with the win. MTU looking good with their brawl comps. Again, not seeing Ramatra though.
Not seeing Ramatra. I guess the meta has shifted.
But they look good on it regardless, on whatever they've been playing. We haven't really seen any poke or dive, but they really haven't needed to.
And one last time, let's thank our sponsors. Bradway Enterprises. Need to be close to campus? We have a place for that. Find the perfect location. Live where you want to live. HodenForRent.com. And also, thank you to University Images. University Images is your official headquarters for authentic Michigan Tech apparel. University owned, university operated. University Images, located in the SDC, or go to book.mtu.edu. Bookstore, excuse me.
Don't quite click off just yet. We're going to go to a short intermission, but then we'll be back for a player interview in just a few minutes.
We're back. I'm here with Suski, the JQ player on the last point on Cervasa. What do you think makes JQ so strong on that map?
I think right now with the current meta, a lot of teams like running Brig and Juno, and Juno ult is probably one of the best ultimates of the game. But
Absolutely.
Queen ult antis the entire team, so they can't get any healing, and that's almost a direct counter to Juno ult because when it's used, the team wants to play close together so they can benefit from it. So when you use JQ ult, they get all antied. A few plays throughout the game. I was able to just anti the entire team multiple times by ultimate. It was just a free fight win.
Yeah, no, and we saw it every time. Every single one was massive coming out from Suski there. What do you think makes your JQ any different? Why do you think you got subbed in?
Oh, I think a lot of it is just trying to like rotate between me and JRB at the moment. You know, when I first joined, the team got signed or was going to be signed on last spring. There was a little of a skill gap between us, but then that closed drastically over the summer. He did a great job improving. So I think right now he's really good at all of the tanks that are kind of like main tanks, like Ramattra's, Orissa's, and I'm better at the traditional off tanks. Kind of like a Junker Queen, Zarya, Diva type.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Suski.
No problem. And also, I would like to. Today's my birthday, actually. So I want to take a moment to like just thank my parents too for helping me get where I'm at. It's a little bit of like an emotional thing, but I used to run collegiate cross country my first year in college. Then I had a terrible hip injury, so I can't run anymore. So I used esports as a new competitive outlet, and it's just really exciting playing at like a higher caliber, similar to like college cross country and track, where I can like really excel at something. It just feels really. I love being part of the program here.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And you do a great job at it too.
Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much.